understanding. So, just to kind of kick off our discussion for, deciding what company is suitable for our top 30 team. I guess in this panel, it's biotech, life sciences. We'll be looking at the top maybe, I guess, 6, 7 teams, and then we'll try to vote on it. And if anyone has like a specific opinion or a very strong opinion on, why like a lesser kind of ranked team or lower ranked team should be considered, maybe it'll be great if you can also bring that up.
It's a bit difficult for me just because I've seen quite a few of these already, and I've been tracking some of them for a while. And so I'm not going to talk about Eclogics just because I'm already supporting them. So I'm not going to talk about that. Delonix is quite interesting, I think, particularly because the bacterial, the re-engineered bacteria, right, as a new modality, it's worth looking at. It really is first in class. And in terms of putting money where it would make the biggest upside, I think it's a platform. It has the biggest upside potential. A lot of these are doing similar things, diagnostics, looking at cells, and really it's just, I think YC is on Zoom, right? He repeatedly asked for non-inferiority data or non-inferiority evidence. And I think that's something that a lot of them can't provide. And so it's hard to do any sort of adjudicating without comparable data to existing, without the data. And so quite a these are, those are my starting thoughts. Yeah.
Roundtable. I think these scores make sense to me because top threes are also the top 3 that have voted highest scores. I personally like meet.
Sorry, I cannot hear the
Okay,
voice.
I will hold near. Sorry, TC. So I myself think Meetinix, I like it too. It's just I'm not sure if they really fits into the bio, category. The reason I like them is because I do agree that their solution is comparable, like very much better than like milk. And I heard comments about like there are many competitors like almond milk and so on. But their technology of extracting new superfood into milk is something that the existing solutions cannot provide. So that is why I still feel like they're a better team for me. But the else I agree with the average score.
Yeah, the top 3 I gave is the B12 先進嗰個無血嗰個咩無痛 blood testing, and the second one I give milk care are quite high mark because I think nutrition is important in this aging population. And the third one, the sense tech, it scored not a very high mark, but the sense tech is from a consumer level, I think is quite good. The label can help a lot from the consumer level. Yeah, that's the top 3 that I gave.
So I agree with most of the judges and also the ranking and on the table. Personally, I am actually quite in favor of the diagnosis businesses because I see a lot of companies actually investing into it. So it's easier for those companies to excel and scale. And I also like, in particular, lifespans. I've met them in other spaces. So I think they are actually doing quite well. And they have the products, and I'm actually surprised that they are not yet, getting the funding. They need to grow faster. I heard they are pretty selective, but I hope to see them, excel faster.
Yeah, so I guess just to add my opinion, I mean, I think, like with Emmanuel, we have looked at some of these companies together. And we've been following them, and I guess to kind of recap and just resonate with echo some of the earlier thoughts. I think diagnostics is always going to be here. I think particularly capital markets have been really hot in this sector. I don't know if going forward that will be the case. Historical does not necessarily equal going in the future, but I do understand. I do agree that diagnostic is a very big part of medical devices. Kind of market share and there's always new ways to screen cancer cells, do early diagnostics, companion diagnostics, etc. So in terms of vaccine, we do have some very mature companies on the list. I think Delanix being one. Again, I guess to really just kind of make a point here is that not necessarily penalize the earlier stage companies just because they are very they have less traction or they have less years of operating experience. But it does seem that some of these more mature companies out there has a more solid or higher upside given what we have seen. And yeah, I think that we should look at them on equal grounds, but obviously Delanix does seem to have proven its favorability in terms of the score. So
can we go to YC then? Because I want to hear what he thinks about the diagnostics, because I think he's the biggest expert amongst us all here. Right? If the company's buying diagnostics or would be you. So what are your thoughts on the diagnostics and?
Thanks, Emmanuel, for calling me out. So firstly, my understanding, because I'm not expert in every area, honestly, for the consuming area, I'm not expert, and also for orthopedia. So except let's get right of this out. So those companies fall into my area is actually the Huayunzhen and Cell4D, Allegro, and Vicell, and Digifluid. I would say the ranking is very close to my ranking. The only difference might be that I will put the Allegro higher than Cell4D and Digifluid higher than Vicell. They will do the exchange. Overall, I'm very impressed by the technology I hear today because I already do investment in this area for more than 5-6 years. Even sometimes the U.S. startups cannot surprise or impress me. But today I really hear some very interesting innovation. Also, some of them may be still in very early stage, and honestly, for Cell4D, I can tell you, I read their business plan long time ago, like 1 year ago. This company has interesting technology, but for commercialization, they have a very, 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 very long way to go. So, but it doesn't affect that I still think their technology is interesting and worth to think more, especially they need to find an appropriate application of their technology. If they just try to compete with traditional cell culturing standing way, they have no way to go. But I believe they do have some valuable application for this technology. So overall, I think that the technology is really impressive. And I think as an investor, and especially maybe because I'm from the industrial, as an industrial partner, we need to find a good application and help this company to explore the new direction of their technology and try to help them grow as fast as possible. Sometimes they might, because many of them, I check their background, many of them come from lab, university. They might be like a big fans to new drug or to the cancer oncology diagnostic, but probably their technology can have a better application in other direction. So some of them I already checked that I definitely want to talk with them because I believe we can explore together what other application this technology can be used to. So this is my comment. Thanks.
all right, thank you. Maybe we'll go to the next guy, Ethan.
Okay. I agree with the top 3 on the list. Although I'm not a healthcare expert, but from a commercial view, I think their ideas really solve the problems, and they're all ready for commercializations. Yeah, and for milk care and Meet the Next, I think their ideas are interesting, but I think for commercialization they will face very strong competitions and many substitutes. Yeah.
So in terms of technology, I think I like Delonix and Cell4D the most. Eglogics and Allegro, I've spoken to them before in the past, so I do like them. I would I would sort of say that Eglogics, I think they need to maybe partner with some other company that is looking at the non-egg related infertility issues. They are very focused much on the egg, which is only like half the issue, right? So I think, you know, if they can sort of sync up with another company that offers a competing technology that is looking at the womb, looking at the endometrial lining, things like that, I think that would be good. And I actually did tell them that the last time. Allegro, I like the technology. I think they need to do a better job marketing though. You know, I mean, you know, they're focusing very much on the cell therapies, but I think, you know, they can also talk about maybe the applications in the vaccine space, which I don't think they have focused enough on. B12, the Shenzhen company that's looking at blood sampling, 250 microliters is way too little for a lot of the applications that are required right now. And there are many companies that already do more than 250 microliters. So, you know, Tasso itself, which is already a commercialized product in the US, is already like, you know, 500 microliters, right? And I think there's a Switzerland company that is doing 1.2 milliliters, you know, and even trying 3 milliliters. I think for some of the liquid biopsy applications, you really need to go way beyond 250 microliters, which, you know, is already in the past. You know, people are way past that already.
To declare, some of the companies are actually on the science part, so I won't comment too much about that cases. For me, I agree with the Delonix and also the Cell4D. I think they got interesting technology to me, and followed by I think Aglogic, Mailcare, and which one? They are similar. They are very close scores for me. So, well, it's too difficult to comment because I know too much about the company. Thanks for the input from the judge. I do not realize the commercialization plan for Cell4D, but I think the commercialization plan for some of the companies are not that straightforward, like weighted here. Yeah, that's my comments.
I rank the highest is Cell4D, and then the B12 genome. I think for me is I look at how investable. I'm also not a life science expert, but I look at how investable the company is. I think Cell4D, the technology is sounds very innovative, maybe not as an expert as everyone here, but I think there's acquisition value there. And for Huayun, I think at least the commercialization, the addressable market is very, very clear. They are doing a consumer title product. We invest in some IVD company that do B2B, like through hospital, that it's very painful in China. So I actually like the fact that they are a bit focusing on the consumer market. Delonix, vaccination, I'm not a big fan, to be honest. I think cash burn is high. It will take a long time. Although it's a star team, they have a lot of good people in the company, but I personally would not invest in any vaccination company, just because the long cycle. So that's just my personal preference. So yeah, my top score I give to BO2 and B12.
All right, thank you, everyone. I think we've heard everyone's opinions. You know, we have some, you know, kind of conflicting, you know, ideas on, you know, maybe B12 or BO2 or stuff like that, even B3. But I think for our purpose, right, we're trying to find the top 30, not the top that, you know, Gobi or, you know, any of the other partners have to, you know, commit to some kind of investment in. So we do want to try to see if these companies can actually make it. And if, you know, the 5-minute pitching session was too short for us to actually evaluate how good the company was, why not give them another chance to see, you know, if they can, impress us during, maybe during finals, right? So I guess for right now, we'll be trying to pick out 3, 4 top companies. First, we'll go with the top 2 that we think are for sure. Certainties of the top 30 will make us proud, put our name on it. And then we'll go into the more kind of highly discussed upon companies. So if there's any kind of discussion, I guess, or I guess for the top 2, would it make sense for us to say that 5 and 3 are the top 2 here, or are there any other voices on the table? Okay, and I guess so. We'll go with these companies for now, for the top 2, and then I noticed that we've mentioned a few other names besides the top 2. Say Huayun, which is B12 with Cell4D, Allegro, which is actually very smart naming. It's actually kind of musical language for fast, right? So Allegro, fast grow, but so, and then we have Milk Tea, Xanax Tag. These are kind of highly mentioned names. We'll think of putting these 5 in a kind of a voting session where we'll just vote in favor or not raise our hand at all, and we'll see how many votes it tallies up to. And I guess the next 2 companies will fill our kind of a remaining top 2 quota for the top 30 teams. If that's okay, we'll start with these 5 names, unless if anyone has any other name to add. So that would be B12, 2, 1, 8, and 11. So can I have in the room and over the Zoom, right? Can I have everyone who votes in favor of B12 raise their hands? So B12 in terms of commercialization. Okay. We have 1, we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that a 6? It's a 5? Okay, so we have 5. So for Cell 4D, can we have everyone who wants to vote in favor raise their hands for Cell 4D? So we have 6. We have 6. Allegro, please raise your hand if you're in favor of Allegro. 4, 5, 6. And we also have 6. We also have 6. I think lifespans we skipped because no one really mentioned a lot, but Milk Care Co. So Milk Care Co. Do we have any voting in favor of Milk Care Co?
Just me.
3. Okay, 3. So I guess that kind of sums it up. So we'll be putting forth EggLogix, Delonix, Cell4D, and Allegro as our top 4 contestants from the batch.